All right, so Indiana Jones in the Dial of Destiny. I'm going to have light spoilers in this video. It's not going to be any big plot points or anything like that, but I have a lot of thoughts about this movie. Coming out of Cannes Film Festival, I was kind of nervous just seeing the Rotten Tomatoes score, and usually that's a very tough crowd to please. And for an Indiana Jones movie to premiere there, I thought was not really appropriate because that's not the crowd you show an Indiana Jones movie to. So I was kind of skeptical of it, but also kind of nervous at the same time. But like every movie I go to see, I want to go in with my own fresh eyes, my own fresh opinion. So that's what I did. I went into this movie, cleared my head, tried to forget everything that I had been hearing about this movie over the last year. And wow. First off, I really love the opening of this movie. The opening scene is fantastic. It brings back that classic Indiana Jones feel. He's punching Nazis, he's running on top of a train. I mean, it's great. Then we get to the present day, at least in the case of this movie, and that's where things just happen. I think the premise of Indy being an old, tired, about to be retired archaeologist slash professor going on one last hurrah, I think that's a cool premise, but they mishandle it entirely. I do got to be fair though, this movie has great Indiana Jones moments, but it doesn't feel like classic Indy to me apart from the opening scene. And this will probably catch me some flack because it goes with what people have been saying over the last year, but I didn't like Phoebe Waller-Bridge at all in this movie. I gotta say, her character did not work at all. It didn't feel like Indy's journey entirely. I mean, the plot is derived from her character. I'll only say that, but it's derived from her character. And whenever the plot is derived from a character that doesn't work, the plot's most likely not going to work either. Harrison Ford, of course, is a bright spot in this movie, and John Williams' score is fantastic, as to be expected. Harrison acts and feels like Indy would at this particular moment in his life, but he gets dragged around the entire movie. It's almost like he's on a leash. Don't get me wrong, Indy's definitely not sidelined or playing second fiddle to her in any way, but they were trying to promote her as if she was the next prominent character in this franchise. It felt so obvious, and that for me didn't work at all. Mads Mikkelsen, I thought, did a great job as the villain. I really enjoyed him in this, as well as Boyd Holbrook, who really wasn't given that much to do in it, but I did enjoy their presences. Most of the humor doesn't really land. A few chuckles in my theater, but it was missing that classic indie humor that we all love. They definitely attempted, but it didn't stick at all. As far as the VFX go, Deepfake Indy was really, really impressive. I liked it a lot more than I thought. It was less distracting than I thought, but there are definitely shots that you can see right through it. As for the rest of the movie, there were certain scenes that it just felt like they were filming it for Disney Plus and it was being made for Disney Plus. Like, for example, I saw a featurette yesterday. They were filming the parade sequence and they were filming it outdoors on a practical set. But in the movie, almost every shot out of that sequence looks like a green screen background. It doesn't make any sense. I heard some buzz about some people thinking it was too long, and maybe so. I didn't necessarily feel the runtime. I did think the movie was really well paced, but what's happening in those sequences I didn't love. But I really love where this movie starts. We get to the present day, things crumble a bit, and then we get to the ending. Full disclosure, I hated the ending of this movie. Not necessarily the final scene, but the ending is one of the laziest things I've ever seen put to film. There's also a choice made at the end of this movie that they had to have known were going to make a lot of indie fans mad, and they did it anyway. I don't get it. The rumors of there being an alternate ending with Indy dying, I can say that because Indy doesn't die in the movie, seems to have a lot more footing now because the ending feels so unnatural. Overall, this movie starts off strong, but as far as the sequencing from Act 1 to Act 3, it just falls apart completely as it goes along. I'm going to give this movie a 5 out of 10. I was very disappointed with this movie. I didn't hate it, but I didn't really like it either. It definitely has its moments. That's why there's points thrown in there. And the opening scene of this movie is fantastic. And that's why I have given it so many points. It probably would have been lower without that opening scene. And that's where I'm going to leave it off for you guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Let me know what you guys thought down in the comments below. If you guys are new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button, like button, turning on post notifications. Whatever you guys want to do to support the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. So hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I will see you all in the next one.